Remember that chalk squeak, that old textbook smell? For ages, that's school. But picture this, a student in rural India, right now, wandering the Colosseum in ancient Rome, or a med student practicing tricky surgery before ever stepping into an operating room. Sounds like a movie, right? Nope, this is what classrooms look like. Traditional teaching is struggling to keep up with kids who've practically been born with screens in their hands, and their screen time has more than doubled in the last 10 years. But what if all that screen time could actually spark brilliance instead of just being a way to kill time? For way too long, education followed a pretty strict playbook, didn't it? One teacher up front, kids in rows, and everyone learning at the exact same speed. Think back to those days. Trying to stay engaged, the stress of standardized tests, and that nagging feeling that maybe way of learning just didn't quite mesh. This teacher-focused approach, heavy on just memorizing stuff, often put structure ahead of real interaction, and discipline before the joy of discovery. So, what happened? We got passive learners, students who were physically there but not really. Skills like critical thinking and problem solving, the stuff you actually need in the real world, often got pushed to the side. In a world overflowing with information, this old system just can't grab the attention of young minds who speak the language of clicks, swipes, and cool digital experiences. If we don't adapt, we risk raising a generation not quite ready for a super fast changing job market, and a growing gap between how students learn and how we teach them. But the school bell isn't just ringing for the end of blackboards, it's signaling a brand new start. We're right in the middle of an incredible shift, where technology isn't just some extra gadget, it's redesigning education from the ground up. That big jump in screen time we mentioned? Smart educators and innovators are now channeling it, turning mindless scrolling into active, meaningful learning. The edtech world is absolutely booming. It was worth over $142 billion in early 2024, and is expected to rocket to maybe $350 billion, or even $598 billion, by 2030 to 2032. That's how big this change is. Now this isn't about kicking teachers out, it's about arming them with tools we could only dream of a few years ago. We're talking about artificial intelligence that tailors learning paths for each student, virtual and augmented reality that can take them anywhere, and games that make learning as addictive as their favorite online challenge. So forget thinking the classroom of tomorrow is some far-off fantasy. These technologies are building it as we speak, making education personal in ways we never thought possible. Leading this whole charge is artificial intelligence. AI isn't just tech jargon anymore. It's quickly becoming a key part of modern education. Imagine an AI tutor that knows where a student is shining and where they're hitting a wall, and then tweaks the lessons on the fly. That's hyper-personalization in action. AI systems look at tons of student data to customize content, adjust the learning speed, and even flag students who might need a bit of extra help, making sure nobody gets left in the dust. Studies are showing that AI can boost student retention by up to 30% with this kind of personalized approach. And it's not just for students. Generative AI is becoming a super helpful assistant for teachers too. It can help with everything from whipping up lesson plans and creating cool multimedia stuff to handling grading, which frees up teachers to do what they're best at, inspiring and mentoring their students. Get this, 50% of teachers are already using AI for lesson planning, and AI tools can slash grading time by a whopping 90%. The global market for AI in education is just exploding, set to hit tens of billions of dollars by the end of this decade. That tells you how huge its impact is. Some reports from early 2025 even suggest that nearly 90% of students are using tools like ChatGPT for their homework, showing just how fast this is catching on. Next up, let's jump into another dimension, quite literally. Augmented reality and virtual reality are completely breaking down the old classroom walls. Imagine dissecting a human heart in stunning 3D, walking with dinosaurs, or practicing complicated engineering tasks in a totally safe, simulated world. AR adds digital information to what you see in the real world, while VR drops you into completely immersive experiences, making learning way more interactive and something you'll actually remember. The results? Pretty amazing. Students using VR have shown 275% more confidence in applying what they've learned compared to old-school methods. These aren't just fun gimmicks, they're serious tools for learning by doing, leading to deeper understanding and real engagement. The AR/VR market in education is growing like crazy, expected to be worth tens of billions of dollars by 2032. Spending on advanced tech in schools, including AR/VR, is projected to hit $12.6 billion by 2025 alone. As VR headsets get cheaper, we're going to see them in more and more classrooms around the world, making these rich learning experiences easier for everyone to access. Over 40% of K-12 schools in the US were expected to be using AR/VR by the end of 2024. That's a big leap from just a few years ago. But the makeover doesn't stop there. How do you make learning genuinely fun? You make it a game. Gamification in education uses things like points, badges, leaderboards, and story-based challenges to get students more motivated and involved. Tools like Class Dojo are already a hit, and studies show that most students find learning through games way more engaging. Some data even suggests gamification can boost student performance by over 30% and help them remember things an average of 34% better. It's no surprise the market for gamification in education is expanding fast, set to be worth billions very soon. At the same time, how we recognize what someone has learned is changing too. Micro-credentials and digital badges offer flexible, verifiable ways for students to show off specific skills and what they've accomplished, linking education much more directly to what they want to do in their careers. This fits perfectly with the rise of hybrid and flexible learning models, which mix online and face-to-face teaching to suit different needs. Something that's really taken off thanks to recent world events. Plus, learning analytics and adaptive tech give teachers powerful data to help them personalize support even more. And holding all this together is the absolute need for good, reliable, internet-strong broadband and mobile access so learning can happen whenever, wherever. Feeling the buzz around this education shakeup? If this vision for learning gets you excited, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe for more looks into our tech-packed future. What innovation do you think will change education the most? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. All this tech isn't just about cool stats and futuristic toys, it's about making a real difference in the world and unlocking incredible human potential. Think about students in remote areas or communities with fewer resources. Not so long ago, their chances of getting a top-notch education were pretty slim. Today, with programs providing donated devices and online platforms, a student, let's call him Raj, from a small village can access amazing resources, join virtual classes with kids from all over the world, and learn from top experts. This isn't just about playing catch-up, it's about giving them the tools to jump ahead, breaking down those old barriers of geography and money. The really great thing about these advances is how they can make education fairer and more open to everyone. AI translation tools can help students learning in a new language. VR can offer safe places for students with different learning styles to practice skills. And personalized platforms mean that every single student, no matter their background or how they learn best, gets a chance to shine. It's technology working for people, boosting teachers' ability to reach and teach every learner out there. Of course, this trip into the future of education has its bumps in the road. The promise of technology is huge, but we need to be smart about how we move forward. A big one is fairness and access. The digital divide is a real thing. Not every student has good internet or the right devices, and that could make existing gaps even wider if we're not careful. Teacher training is another massive piece of the puzzle. Educators need ongoing training and support to really get the hang of these new tools and change up their teaching styles. Then there's the whole screen time balance, making sure tech is helping students, not hurting their well-being. And finally, as learning changes, how we check what students know needs to change too. We need to move beyond old-school tests to ways of assessing that really show what students can do with these new ways of learning. Cybersecurity is also a growing worry. With so much learning happening online, we need strong protection for sensitive student data. The chalk dust has well and truly settled. Those blackboards? They're museum pieces now. The classroom of tomorrow isn't some distant dream. It's being built, coded, and lived in right now. Technology has completely changed the learning game, making it more personal, more engaging, and more open to everyone than we ever thought possible. From AI that gets your learning style to VR that lets you stroll on Mars, the tools are here. This is education, totally rethought. This is learning, with no limits. Don't just sit back and watch the future happen, help make it. Subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next dive into the tech that's changing our world. Share this video with teachers, students, parents, and anyone who's passionate about